Right. Alrighty. So here we go. Chapter 8. Measurement and conversions. So the book doesn't quite 100% line up with what the province is asking us to teach you. So I have my own worksheets combined with the textbook. Okay, so you can also think of proportions and rates. Okay, so here are some conversion rates that I need you to have. If anything else comes up, I usually provide it. So 8.1, comparing and interpreting rates. Okay, so the basic ones, right? 1 foot has 12 inches. 1 yard has 3 feet, which happens to then have 36 inches. 1 mile has 1,760 yards, which in turn would be 5,280 feet. When it comes to mass, I think the important one is to know that 1 kilogram has 2.2 pounds. 1 gallon has 3.79 liters. 1 meter has 100 centimeters, and that 1 centimeter has 10 millimeters. Continuing on the right side here, if you want to go from, do you know what the two main measurement systems are called? You have our metric system, imperial system, SI, System International, right? And the imperial. So 1 foot has 0.3048 meters. So if you want to go from feet to meters, right, from imperial to meter, or vice versa, use this one. If you have 1 yard, 0.9144 meter. 1 inch has 2 point, so you don't get a formula sheet in this course. So that's the down, right? So you have your study sheet, but you don't get a formula sheet like an IEPR. So it's a little bit of a trade-off, right? You got to know that 1 kilogram has 1,000 grams. No surprises there, I'm sure. But these are the tricky ones that I'm about to give you here. And I will kind of guide you through them a little bit. What if the question was saying, hey, 1 cubic meter? 1 cubic meter, cube, right? It's volume, it's three-dimensional. So the way I want you to think of is kind of forget about the cube for now. How many centimeters are in a meter? 100, right? So we take 100 centimeters, but we can't just say centimeters because it's not cubed, right? We cube the whole thing. What happens when you take 100 and you cube it? Some of you don't have a calculator, that's okay. Right, 100 cubed, right? That's a million, right? So you basically multiply 100 times 100 times 100. So that would be a million centimeters cubed. Right? So a cube meter has 100 centimeters cubed in it. 1 squared meter, you take the same fact that a meter has 100 centimeters, but then you square it. And so 100 times 100, there'd be 4 zeros, right? And same thing with the other, any for that matter. If you take a cubic yard, and you're like, well, I know that 1 yard has 3 feet. So if it's cubic yard, I need to cube this whole thing. So 3 times 3 times 3 is IPR, right? So 27 cubic feet. So 1 cubic yard has 27 cubic feet in it. And 1 squared yard would be 3 feet elevated to the power of 2, because you have to match the units. That'd be 3 times 3, which is 9 square feet. And this actually goes on for anything you want, right? If I asked you for 1 square mile, how many square yards would be there? You just square that out. So I think I'm going to call this it. You know that a minute has 60 seconds, all of that, right? So I'm not going to write that down. But anything I box in is usually important and needs to probably find its way to your study sheet. How is my writing back row? Can you see it? Back row? If you have problems seeing and you need to be closer to the front, right, you can talk to me and we'll switch you up with someone that is okay sitting further back. Just talk to me, okay? Because I can't read your mind. Just talk to me or email me or whatever. I don't bite, okay? I'm a big guy, but I'm a friendly big guy, right? All right, so here's that. So let's do some conversions. So let's start with A. If I asked you to convert 200 miles to feet. So this is what the question would look like. It's like, hey, convert that to feet. How would you do that, right? And this is how I want you to do it. You take the 200 miles, and then you try to find a rate that gets you to the other unit. Sometimes it's as easy as 1 step. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3. So it depends on what the situation is calling for. So we're going to go times, right? If I go up to my chart, I notice that I have 1 mile equaling 5,280 feet. So that's the rate that I'm going to use because it gets me from miles to feet. So watch how you do this. Miles is technically in the numerator when it comes to this starting number here. So you're going to say that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. And I'm going to highlight the miles. See, you want to cancel them out. You want to get rid of miles. That's why you make sure one is in the denominator and one is in the numerator. That's how you cancel out. So it doesn't matter where you put them. So cancel, cancel. And in this case, all you need to do is 200 times 5,280 divided by 1, which is irrelevant. But we're going to do it anyways, right? Or we're going to talk about it at least. So you multiply that. You get 1,056,000. Don't put commas in there, okay? We don't do that here. I know some of you took math and French. I'm forgiving when that happens, but decimals, if possible. So this is your final answer. That's how many feet are in 200 miles. Okay. If I had feet here to start and you wanted to convert that to miles, you would have had to put this number down, right? Because you want to cancel out feet, right? So you got to watch out. I can't do every single example. Yeah. Yeah, you can do brackets. Yeah, like this. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, brackets, no brackets, right? Like this is happening in physics. This is happening in chemistry, in various, right, in science. So I know that teachers taught it slightly differently. I'm okay as long as it is mathematically sound, right? So use your notate, like use proper notation. So B, 347 centimeters, and you want that in feet. So you start with 347 centimeters, and there may be more than one way to get there. Okay. This is going to be my path. I know that 1 inch has 2.54 centimeters. And I know that centimeter, look carefully, right? Centimeter will cancel out there, right? So we're good. Let's do that already. Cancel, cancel. I still need to get rid of the inch, right? I need to get it 2 feet. So I'm going to use this one. I know that 1 foot has 12 inches. I need to make sure that the 12 inches go in the denominator so I can cancel them out. And then the 1 foot goes up here. So cancel there, cancel there. So I have more than one highlighter, so I'm going to actually do that. Centimeter goes here. And I'm going to take my orange highlighter here. Okay. Inches, right? Then you can see it's like cancel, 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 right? You can actually see how the units are canceling out. And the only one left standing is feet. So now you know you got there. You have to be careful here. Okay. When you have multiple things happening in the denominator, you have to be very careful. So I'm going to type it in like this, 347 divided by, and then I'm going to use my brackets, 2.54 times 12, close brackets, right? So the 347 is divided by, these two are multiplying in the denominator. So your answer is, should I add a step? I'm not sure, Mr. Dirksen, will he take marks off? He might, so, because I don't know, I can't read Mr. Dirksen just yet. I'm just going to multiply 347 times 1 times 1, get 347. Then I'm going to multiply 2.54 times 12 and get this. In the denominator, I know it's in feet. And now I'm going to go 347 divided by 30.48. Okay, I got the same answer. Phew, right? And I'm in feet. The default, sorry, it's a bit crooked there. Default is 2 decimals. Okay, round to 2 decimals. You can't go wrong. So just round correctly. So there's my answer. Was there another way of doing it? You bet. And just because I want to make sure that that is something you understand, I could have gone like this. 1 meter has 100 centimeters. Cancel, cancel, right? And then I know that 1 foot has 0.3048 meters. And I can cancel the meters here. And watch this. right? If you multiply 347 out at the top, you get 347 feet. If you multiply this times this, you get the exact same result as up top. And there you have it, right? So yes, if you're careful, as long as you're careful, and sometimes it might be more work, I don't care, as long as you do it correctly, you are answering the question and you're being consistent, okay? So this is IPR stuff, I know that, but it's important. You try one real quick here. Oops, sorry, that's supposed to be 27. Try that one. Write it down. I want to flip to the back side and give you some more. You got this? Back side? Okay, try these three real quick. All right, sorry to interrupt, but I'm going to take it back. So let's quickly go over this. So it's 27.45 millimeters. The route I take is I'm going to go 1 centimeter has 10 millimeters. That will get rid of the millimeters, right? I'm still continuing my journey, and I know that 1 inch has 2.54 centimeters, and that will get rid of the centimeters there. Okay, that's how I did it. Let's see if we get the same answer. So this times 1 is just 27.45, and then this times that is just 25.4, right? And that should give you 1.08 inches. And again, there are various, some of you just wrote that right away as 2.745 centimeters. You just shifted the decimal over because that's how the metric system works. I'm fine with that as long as you use the appropriate units there. Okay, back side, for me at least, 3.5 kilometers. The way I do it here is that I'm going to use the 1 mile as 1.609. Did I give you that one? Oh, okay. So that's my bad. It could have been done converting this to meters, right? And then, okay, plan B. I'm going to give you that later, that conversion rate. So I'm going to go 1 kilometer as 1,000 meters. Cancel, cancel. Then I'm going to go from meters to feet. I know that 1 foot has 0.3048 meters. I'm just going to double check because you never know. Yes, there it is. Okay. So then meters goes, and then down to feet, so we're good to go. 3.5 times 1,000, right? The decimal goes 1, 2, 3, 3 decimals, right? Divided by 0.3048, and we are in feet. Let's see here. Because sometimes if you go a different route, it is a slightly different answer. And that is okay as long as you show your work. This is what I get. We're good? Can I give you that quickly? I'm just going to go back to the front. Let's add that 1 mile, sorry, has 1.6093 kilometers. Okay, so write this one down right here. The 1 mile has 1.6093 kilometers. That makes it easier. Now you have another tool in your toolkit. Okay, the last one there, 34 to 80. The route I'm going to choose, I think I'm going to go 1 yard, has 0.9148 of a meter, and that gets rid of the yards. And you still have to get rid of the meter. So I'm going to go 1 meter has 100 centimeters. I'm going to strongly suggest to do it this way, just to make sure you don't make mistakes, right? And when you do that, there's only once in the denominator, right? So I can just go ahead and multiply it out. And this is what I get. $3,134,563.2 centimeters. I always like to clearly state my final answer. Again, if you chose a different route, which, right, you could have gone from yards to inches, and then from inches, right, to centimeters. Sometimes you're a bit off. Don't worry about it. As long as you're following those unit cancellations, you'll be fine. You will not lose marks, okay? Okay, let's do the converting rates. It's the same thing, just slightly different. And tomorrow we'll do some word problems, okay? Converting rates, right? Follow same steps as before, comma, but now we have 2 units, okay? Follow same steps as before, but now you have 2 units. So 100 kilometers per hour, that is a rate. 100 kilometers, that's just, right, a measurement. 100 kilometers per hour, that's a rate because it's 2 different units. So let's see here. Let's say a pump is able to pump 42 gallons per minute. And you want to know how much would this be in liters per hour, right? So you're like, wait a minute, this is conversion, but this is rate because it's 2 different units, right? And so we deal with it the exact same way, you just have to keep track of 2 units being converted. So I set it up like this, watch. 42 gallons, the gallons go with the number, right? And then in the denominator, you have a minute, 1 minute, right? 100 kilometers per hour is 100 kilometers over 1 hour, same thing, okay? And let's let the journey begin here. You choose which one you want to convert first. I kind of start with the top most of the time. So 42 gallons, I want it to liters. So I know that 1 gallon has 3 point, is it 79? What did I give you? Is it 79? Okay, phew. There. So what am I doing here? I'm focusing in on the gallons, and the gallons go with the gallons here. So I'm now taking care of the liters, right? Because that's what I want my volume to be in. So here's my highlighter. I'm going to highlight gallons and gallons here. But we don't do anything yet. Watch. We want to get rid of the minutes. So focus on the minutes, right? You want that to cancel out. You know that 1 hour has 60 minutes. You would agree with that, right? I don't have to give you that. But it's important where you put it, right? If you put the 1 hour at the top, then it's not going to cancel out with this. So I'm going to have my second highlighter here. Right? And so the minutes here cancel out with the minutes there. So now let's watch. At the top, what are we left with? Liters. At the bottom, we're left with hours, which is exactly what we want. So then you just go ahead. The bottom is all 111, so no big deal here. So we're just going to go 42 times 3.79 times 60. That's 9,550.8 liters per hour. The textbook only uses H for hour. Okay, so rates, we've converted, right? It's almost like when you drive to the States. We haven't gone to the States in a long, long time. But anyways, when you cross the border, everything is in miles per hour, right? Here it's kilometers per hour. So there's a conversion happening there. Okay, let's keep going. One more, and then we'll call it. Remember that when the bell goes, we stay 5 minutes longer, okay? Unless you're in grade 10 taking this course, then you can go earlier. Okay, let's do that. 65 miles per hour. You know what? I'm going to introduce it. Can I get rid of this? It's called MPH. Have you ever seen that before? MPH? It's actually saying miles per hour. So I want you to right away not panic when you see that. So this, I want you to convert that to meters per second. If you're in physics, you do a lot of meters per second, right? So I want you to just take that 65 miles, let's put miles like that, over an hour. No big deal, right? We've just converted that to that. How about we do this? MPH miles per hour, right? It's the same thing. So small. But let's zoom into that part. I need my cameraman here. Camera person. Okay, there. So 65. So we now want to get meters at the top. So I'm going to go, let's go to kilometers, right? So 1 mile has 1.6093 kilometers. So cancel the miles and the miles, right? Then I'm still not done. I want it in meters. So I will say that 1 kilometer, and I kind of start with a kilometer, cancel out there, has 1,000 meters. So cancel, cancel. So it's like a choo-choo train, right, of cancellations there. We got to keep going because now we're done. We have meters. We have the miles converted to meters. Good. How are we going to do the hours? Can I just give you a quick hint here? 1 hour has 3,600 seconds. Oh, you can see that. Let's just do that on the side because, right, 60 minutes, 60 seconds, right? That's 3,600 seconds. That's how many seconds there are. So put this on a bubble on the side. Maybe have it on your study sheet. It might help. Why am I doing that? Because then I can go ahead and put 1 hour here and put the 3,600 seconds here. The hours will cancel out with the hours. Allow me to do this here real quick. I'm going to follow this trail, right? That's kind of like one trail. And then the hours went here. Okay. So it's kind of like this was my pattern to get to meters. And then these two cancel out to get seconds. Here you have to be a bit careful. Multiplying all of this out, you get 104,585 meters over 3,600 seconds. Which then gives me, if I divide them, I get 29.05. That's not going to work. Hold on. Let's give ourselves some space here. Equals 29.05 meters per second. That's my final answer. And I want to add one more thing to start thinking about it. This is a rate. This is a rate. This is a unit rate. What's the difference, you may ask? A rate just has two different units and the numbers are there. A unit rate is when you can write it 29.05 meters over how many seconds? 1 second. When you can say something over 1, that's called a unit rate. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Don't worry about it too much. Here we go. Homework. Worksheet. I just gave you a worksheet, right? 8.1 and 8.2 worksheet, but not all of it, because you can't do all of it yet. Well, you might surprise me. Just do the first page. First page only. I will post the key. It'll be on Google Classroom. So this is what I'm going to tell you is that some of you ask, like, how come you don't do homework check, right? Well, the AC serves as a homework check. And I don't really go over questions unless you ask. So if you ask me, can you go over this question? Absolutely, okay?